ADK training family, it's Colin bringing you the part 2 of our most common myths that we chat with parents about and coaches about when it comes to youth performance training. The first one we're going to go over is that my athletes can't get strong and they should maybe work on strength training because they haven't hit puberty yet. And that may be true. They may not build the same amount of muscle. They won't nearly as much muscle as you will see in a high school athlete who's gone through puberty because they don't have those hormonal profiles yet. But it doesn't mean they can't get stronger. When we're teaching them how to use these different lifts, we're teaching them how to get the most out of their nervous system and teaching them coordination. So we have some middle school athletes that have not hit puberty yet, but have done some pretty amazing things because they've refined the movement really well and they move really well and they've coordinated it. And when you coordinate, you use less energy to do the lift, and they can do some things that are pretty wild. It's not uncommon for some of our middle school athletes to work up to 200-pound deadlifts and being a fraction of that weight. So we can get them in. Obviously, there's age appropriate exercises we want to do when we get into that 7 to 10-year-olds, and it's more play-based and a little less focused on the strength. But there's definitely some stuff you can do. The next myth that we talk about with parents is all my athlete really needs is cardio, or they want them to be trained so hard that they think that hard work equals performance gains. And it's, to a point, it's good to have a good cardio base, but a lot of what our athletes need is power, all right? They need to be able to express and move as fast as possible in most of your sports. Now, if you're a cross-country athlete, it's a little different, but they're all expressions of power, just very sub-threshold. And when we look at our athletes training program, you'll see a lot of power training, very little cardio-based training, because they get most of that in their sport. So they don't need to come to us to get a lot of that conditioning if they're playing sport regularly, which most of our kids are playing 12 months a year, and 100% of them are playing at least 9 months a year. So when we're looking at their program, they don't need as much as you think they would need because they're playing so much. It's a little different than when I was playing sports. There just wasn't much access. So yes, doing conditioning in the off season made sense because you couldn't play, so you had to stay in shape. Now the kids are all year. And then the last piece is that strength training is only for athletes. That couldn't be farther from the truth. We know that exercising for youth is extremely important to brain development, mood, confidence, and a host of other things, academic scores. There's so much stuff that can be done, and we've actually seen a pretty significant uptick in kids who are doing our performance training programs, but they're on the non-athlete track. They don't play sports anymore, but they want to stay fit, they like moving, and they know that it helps them feel better, perform better in school, and a lot of other things that help with anxiety. So those are a couple more big myths that we deal with on the regular. If you have any questions or something you've come around that just doesn't seem right, reach out to us. We are here to help, and we want to make sure your athlete succeeds and navigate a pretty challenging youth sports landscape that's been kind of floating around the last couple of years. All right, thanks for watching another one of our coaching corners. Have a great day. We'll see you around the club.